Hey there. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to improvise on guitar by jamming the blues. Let's do this. Hi there, I'm Thomas Michaud from Real Guitar. This is the second video in the series. In the first video, I showed you the fingering for the scale that we're going to be using. I am going to review that scale quickly, but if you're new to scales, I really encourage you to go and watch that first video. I'll put a link to it up there somewhere. With that, let's go ahead and get on with jamming, soloing, improvising, whatever word you prefer to use. Let me do a quick review of the scale that we'll be using. First, part 1. And optionally, part 2. Now, as I mentioned, I did do a complete video on this scale alone, and the link will be in the description. We're going to divide this lesson into 3 steps. Now, before we get going, I want to lay out one guiding principle that is very important, both for improvisation and for this lesson. The principle is, if it sounds good to you, it is good. Now, I remember when I first started improvising, I know I had doubts about if that was the right notes or not, or if I was doing it right. If you find yourself wondering if you're hitting the right notes, keep this guiding principle in mind. If it sounds good to you, it is good. And keep that in mind as you practice. Keep looking for what sounds good to you. And of course, as you practice more, you'll kind of get educated into what sounds good to you and know it right away. The first step is to get accustomed to hearing these notes along with a backing track. To do that, I want you to play the scale with the backing track and just go up and down the scale. By the way, you can get access to the backing track from a link in the description. I want to give you a little demonstration to kind of give you a starting place to work from. Now, I want you to play the scale with the backing track, go up and then come back down. Something like this. Come on back down. Don't worry if you're playing the notes in rhythm or not. That's not an issue at this point. Just practice listening to how the notes sound with the backing track and get used to going up and down the scale. I'll show you what it sounds like if we do 2 parts or 2 octaves. So once you feel comfortable with going up and down the scale, you don't have to get it perfect, but just somewhat comfortable, you can start creating phrases. And that's what I call little combinations of notes. We're going to start by just picking 3, 4, maybe 5 notes, and then find ones that you like together and play them more than once. Let me show you what that looks like. So here's a phrase. And I'll repeat it. It's another one. And I'll try a little longer one. Here we go. And again, you can take it up to the 2nd octave. Now for the 3rd step, we'll start adding a little rhythm, so all the notes don't have to be equal. I'll give you an example, something like this. Hold it twice as long. Or You can create simple phrases by varying the rhythm and the combination of the notes that you're using. So think of it a little bit like you're talking. You're going to speed up or slow down depending on what you're trying to get across. Again, I'll show you some examples with the backing track, but keep in mind, if it sounds good to you, it's good. You don't have to imitate me. You can make up your own phrases. Here's a phrase. I'll start here and try this one. I kept the same rhythm. Now I'll change rhythm. And maybe a little faster. Now I'll add something. Oh, I like that one. Just a little variation. You get the idea. So just to recap, you're going to start by kind of going over the fingering for the scale, get that backing track, and then try playing the scale over the backing track. Listen carefully to how the notes kind of fit with the chords. There's no right or wrong. Keep in mind that if it sounds good to you, it is good. Step number 2 is to start creating little phrases, combinations of notes, 3, 4, 5. They can be longer, but I suggest starting small and something that you can kind of repeat. And then step number 3 is start varying up the rhythm in your phrases. And little by little, you'll start hearing it sound more like you're talking with musical notes. Try creating a phrase and then extending that phrase a little bit, or simplifying that phrase a little bit. And probably one of the most important tips is to make time to do this. Do it a little bit, maybe every day, even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes. It's not only fun, but you'll see that you get better and better at it. Thanks for joining me today. If you're into uplifting guitar lessons and real guitar learning advice, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, you can access the backing track from a link in the description, or I'll give you a link right here at the end.